back at work?
Pardon?
You back at work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I just go in one week now. The other times I'm out. So it's Richard helps them.
Oh, very good.
I'm surprised it's not doing what I think a lot of people. I don't think we're going to see a lot till after Christmas. I think going up to Christmas, people are going to bury their heads a bit and just spend no time.
It's only a bad news, numbers dropped. Stood up at Creekmore.
No, I think it's quite political down there. I've done my bit.
Good what you did.
I don't think
That's better. Sorry? That's better. You Jordan.
Warm. Good afternoon to you all. It's lovely.
Sorry, it's lovely to be stood here again, and good afternoon to all those online. Welcome. We special treat this afternoon. We have our dear Lawrence taking the service. Yay.
No pressure then.
As I said, it's a real treat to be here, and Lawrence said how quiet it was before the service, but I was walking up and down, and the energy that was coming in was amazing, and it was quite emotional, so thank you all for that. I can feel the energy going out already. Anyway, so we'll start off with our service.
Yeah, well, Tony's given you all a message, so that's lovely. We'll
Yeah.
go over now. Thank you for joining us at home. Bye.
No, there's more.
Oh.
So, yes. Welcome, Lawrence. Nice to have you this side of the
It's
service.
lovely
for
to
a
be
change.
here.
That's what we need, the laughter, upliftment. So I'll leave the service with you and ask you for the opening prayer. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Tony, and lovely to see you here, and thank you for the support in chairing, because we need to be stable in this day and age. Anyway, stop talking, Lawrence, and let go. Good afternoon, everybody. So you just still your minds just for this short time. Link in with that God of your own understanding. Reach out with your hearts and your thoughts. Divine and gracious Spirit, we give thanks for this time together. We give thanks for this understanding and these philosophies. We give thanks for the smallest things within our life. For at this time, each and every one of your creation being tried and tested, and it is hard at times to see us with the weather today, beyond the showers, to the sun shining brightly. We ask for that peace, that love and that healing to pervade this service. And I would ask that my physical mind be stilled, to become that of a mirror, so that all that is cast upon it be reflected truly, working with the energies of prayer, of philosophy, and of mediumship. I now place myself in this service in thine loving, tender care. Amen.
Amen. Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. And now ask Lawrence for his reading and address. Thank you, Lawrence.
We're going to rest here,
No rest. Get you back.
Thank you. Good afternoon again. I've been drawn to changing my reading material. Those of you who know me from the past know I used to read a lot from the Aquarian Gospel, but I've been drawn very much to a book that was transcribed from Spirit in 1864, and that was through a mediumship circle, and the writings in there, considering their age, as I say, apply to today, because working with Spirit and being Spirit is timeless. So when we get this direct communication from Spirit, that is timeless also. God is giving far more than you think. In all parts are springing up centres from which the truth of God is being poured into longing hearts and permeating thinking minds. There must be many to whom the gospel given of old is satisfying yet, and who are not receptive of further truth. With these we meddle not. But many there are who have learned what the past can teach, and who are thirsting for further knowledge. To these it is given in such measure as the Most High sees fit. and from them it flows to others. And the glorious tidings spread until the day comes when we shall be called on to proclaim them from the mountain top. And lo, God's hidden ones shall start up from the lowly places of the earth to bear witness to that which they have seen and known. And the little rills that man has heeded not shall coalesce, and the river of God's truth, omnipotent in its energy, shall flood the earth and sweep away in its resistless course the ignorance and unbelief and folly and sin which now dismay and perplex you. A question was asked. This is a new revelation of which you speak. Is it contrary to the old? Many are focused on that point. The response came, revelation is from God, and that which he has revealed at one time cannot contradict that which he has revealed at another, seeing that each is, in its kind, a revealing of truth, but of truth revealed in proportion to man's necessities and in accordance with his capacities. That which seems contradictory is not in the word of God, but in the mind of man. Man was not content with the simple message. He has adulterated it with his glosses, overlaid it with his deductions and speculations. And so, as years go by, it comes to pass what came from God is in no sense what it was. It has become contradictory, impure and earthy. When a further revelation comes, instead of fitting it reasonably, it becomes necessary to clear away much of the superstition that has been built on the old foundations. And the work of destruction must precede the work of addition. The revelations are not contradictory, but it is necessary to destroy man's rubbish before God's truth can be revealed. Man must judge according to the light of reason that is in him. This is the ultimate standard, and the progressive soul will receive what the ignorant and prejudiced will reject. God's truth is forced on none. So, for a time, during the previous process, there must be a special revelation to special people. It has ever been so. Did Moses obtain universal acceptance even amongst his own people? Did any of the seers? Did Jesus even? Did Paul? Did any reformer in any age amongst any people? God changes not. He offers, but he does not force acceptance. He offers, and they who are prepared to receive the message, then the ignorant and the unfit reject it. It must be so. And the dissensions and differences which you deplore are but for the sifting of the false from the true. They spring from unworthy causes and are impelled by malignant spirits. You must expect annoyance too from the banded powers of no good, of lowness. But cast your eyes beyond this present, look to the far future, and be of good courage. There's a lot in there. What came to me when I started reading that was God and the relationship that we build with God. It's a very personal energy. It's like prayer. Prayer is from the heart, of the heart. And at this time, we need to reassess, reaffirm that relationship with God. Because that divine from within, that reflection of the God without, that is one of our key building blocks about all things that we do. How we react, how we are, how we behave, how we aspire. One of the things that we find difficult to overcome is we term this life of this time, this manifestation, as the time when we've got to do it all. This is the time when we've got to get there, we've got to change this, we've got to do that. But we never, ever, ever forget that this is a page in the book of life. We are eternal. And it's learning and understanding and trying to accept this. And this is one of the things that we all find difficult. I am quite an impatient character, so I have my own energies to overcome to bring in more and more the God presence, the stillness, and the understanding. I do like it in that reading there about when he's saying that things have been overlaid, because the minute you mention God in a conversation, it's a bit like the old exercise of if I ask you all to imagine a boat, everybody would see a boat. Every boat would be totally different, but it would do the same thing. It would float on water. And that's very much with God, because if we imagine God, each and every one of us is seeing our own aspect, our reflection of what God is and who he is, she is, it is, they are, ad infinitum. But linking in with that God essence, that God energy, at this time especially, so important that we find that stillness within, that understanding and that acceptance. As I've just said, our lives are eternal. Life is endless. Each expression we choose to live is here, wherever, but that continual thread of life is never broken. And it would be easy to think, oh, I can put that off. Or if we go along some of the older teachings where, it's all right, when I'm getting ready to go home, I can renounce all sin and happy days, I'm forgiven. I have trouble with that, I really do, because we're here on a journey to learn by experience. And on that premise, we've not experienced it. Each and every day, we are weaving our soul, weaving our spirit, each and every act, each and every thought that we put out. And these become indelible upon us. They're not something that can just be cast off like a shirt or a jacket. They're part of us. That which has come from the highest and the best through service to others, through healing, through giving, through assisting, they stay with us. The others that have come from other places where we react angrily, those of you on social media will full know well what that can bring about. People know that my posts on social media are fairly prolific. You want to see the 98% of the ones that I think don't send that, because that does serve no purpose. That has come from the baser element. Just forget it. Let it go. Let it go. And it's so difficult. It is. It really is. This time, this place, this existence, we just feel it's endless and ceaseless. And we feel helpless and we feel fear. And that's perfectly natural. Perfectly, perfectly natural. But it's how we deal with that and how we deal with ourselves. Because this is one of these times, I believe, that very, very rarely appears in the history of human side, where we are encouraged more to go within, deeper and deeper, and just find that word, that understanding of God. And don't try to imbue our human emotions and feelings upon that which we're trying to understand, because my belief, again, God is beyond all these human emotions. He is, she is, they are just there. Live in that perfect point of balance. Because we all know that when we are out of balance, things are more difficult, things are more turgid to work through. But we look around this world, and especially at this time, we are so focused on the virus and the restrictions that brings, and we seem to have forgotten the other elements of our world. Going back before this time, look at all the work and the publicity and the focus on the environment. Since we met last week, this time last week on Sunday, 10,000 football pitch size of virgin rainforest has been destroyed. It's still going on. In Colorado, there are fires that have never been seen before. Our seas, our rivers, all this is going on, and it just seems overwhelming. It just seems so much going on. What can I do about it? Well, we are in a very reactive stage of our life cycles where we want to do something about it. But then our personalities start to overlay that, and we want to do something about it now. We want to click our fingers and cure everything. We want to click our fingers and clear the oceans. That's beyond us. But what we can do is recognise that we are immortal beings of light. We live forever in one stage or another. But that is not an excuse to turn our back on this life, this expression of our existence. In fact, quite the opposite. Because when we start to deal with those deeper revelations and linking in with the God force, the higher authorities, and welcoming them into our life, and linking in as best we can with those teachings and those philosophies, and they are simple. We make it complicated. The Orthodox churches through the years have made things difficult, but it's not. God is love, and if we act and respond and work in that love vibration, we won't be far off the mark. You know, we look across this world and there is so much there that can bring us down. But equally, there is so much there that can lift us up. Look at nature. Look at this weather today. Look at the glorious sun. Look at this time of year, the trees laid bare. There is always something there to hope for. But it's how we react, how we interact, most importantly, not only with ourselves and with others. So it's looking at our building blocks. It's all right to say, oh yeah, well they needed taking a peg or two down. Why? And who put you in that position to do that? Who asked you to do that? Well, actually, nobody. Act in love. If you can't act in love, fine. None of us are perfect. I will definitely attest to that one. Don't act in anger. If you see a post and it upsets you, stop going on Facebook. If somebody says something you don't agree with, that's fine. That's your way, not mine. Because we've really got to reduce these negative energies in the world. But we have also, very important, got to work on our understandings, our beliefs, our lives. And going back to that absolute basic principle of God, of the existence of a God, or a great spirit, whatever your terminology, and revisiting that, and rebuilding that relationship. You know, we see people chasing after mediums, after gurus, after this and that to bring in the latest revelation for them. Find your own revelation. Find your own peace. Find your own joy. Find your own cause to work for. Goodness knows there's so much out there we can do to help. And we do see examples of this. The name escapes me, the footballer. And what has transpired from that? Take away the negative side, take away the furor, take away the, see, they've done right, because that serves no purpose. But look at the number of places that have opened up, that have advertised, and they've not politicised it, and they've just said, kids don't go hungry. If you've got a hungry kid, bring them to our pub, our restaurant, our club, or wherever, and we'll feed them. Because that is the purity. It's not about self-service. It's about serving self. It's about deeping within and finding that love and that compassion. Most of these places that are offering, they're not saying, look at me, aren't I good? They're just saying, here, you need food, I've got food, have it. Because they're touching on those baser instincts within inside. They're touching on the higher forms of energy that we can work with and pushing aside. There's ample opportunity. They could all stand up and band together and bring it into a political debate. But that's not the energy in which it's been created. The energy is of love, of compassion, of understanding and concern, and to help. And that is one of the God-inspired energies. So there are always these examples, and we can each do our best. Again, so often people say, oh, well, I'm of an age now, or I can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can partake, because now you are working for your immortal soul. At this time, our energy should be focused on us to make sure that we are progressing, that we've got it right. Are there areas we need to revisit? Are there people we need to forgive? Do we need to forgive ourselves? But the template and the energy and the inspiration for that comes with our link with the divine. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Lawrence. How do you follow that? Thank you, Lawrence.
No idea. I'll watch it, I'll catch up.
I just love the way that you speak with passion. And
Thank you.
thank you. Right, we continue our service.
Sorry.
Continue our service. We go forward with the healing, and even those that are watching online can send out healing. As Lawrence said, compassion. If you can give compassion to a child that's fallen over and grazed its knee, to an elderly person you see that's perhaps not able to walk as fast as they used to, that's giving out healing. We can do that to anybody. We all have that loving energy that we can share. So today, particularly, obviously, we'll think of the children of the world, those without food, without comfort, without home. We remember, we send out our love to them. So I ask you all to sit quietly, concentrating on your own breath. Just relaxing in your own body, settling to your own rhythm, and just resting there for a while, clearing your mind and feeling the loving energy come to yourself. As I said before, remember to send out the love to all your loved ones, those that you know need your support and healing, and particularly today the children of the world, all children, the change of circumstances, not being able to see their own family, perhaps fathers not being able to see their children, making sure that they have a meal a day, all over the world. But also remember to put yourself into the healing energy. The circumstances of today, we all have our own challenges. So I just leave you to sit in the quiet now, sending out and receiving the healing energy. Divine Spirits, we thank you for the healing given and the healing received. And I ask you to walk with each one as we go through our daily lives. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. And now we ask Lawrence for the meditation.
Yeah?
Meditation, no,
No,
meditation.
I'm not for that. Never have enough with meditation.
The mediumship, and I know he's got a little trick up his sleeve today.
Yeah. Not a trick, it's an exercise.
An excellent.
Good afternoon again, everybody. People within the church here are wondering why, when they came in, they were asked to take a raffle ticket. We're not going to raffle off the messages, but I do like to work with Spirit in different ways. I do like to see our bonds and how we work together, and try just different aspects. Also, there is another underlying energy, because I am here and I know most of you lovely people very well. I find that a bit of a hindrance sometimes in my mediumship, because I know you. I don't know everything about you, but it does tend to put you off. So what I will do is, I will take a ticket, work on the number, I will start the link off from the number only, then I will tell you what the ticket is, and the person holding that ticket will say, yes, I can understand. Listen to this bit, because this is really important. This is what you've got to do, all right? Whether I'm right or wrong. Yes, I can understand what you're saying. All right, so we all happy with that?
Yes.
So, as I say, this is not a trick, this is not a sideshow, this is not an amusement, this is actually, those who sit in circles know you do different exercises to work differently, to keep hammering home those links, and to keep Spirit's intelligence, you know, it's so important, and they want to bring in new ideas and new feelings as well. Where are we? This. I do feel here, I feel as though I want to be with a lady here, communicating with a lady in spirit, and I do also feel that there was a great, there was a great love of travel, because the ticket number I've seen changed into something else denoting a plane in my mind's eye. So I do know I've got a lady here who would have loved to have got away, loved to do a little bit abroad, and also this relates to the lady here on Earth. A bit more, please. I do, yes, you were here. I do know that here, the person that this lady is linking with, there's been something going on around here, around the kidney area. I don't feel anything very hugely bad there, but I do know it's just caused a little bit of concern, and it's also made me look into my life a bit more about knocking out the caffeine, and I think I'm giving myself a message here. Knocking out the caffeine and drinking something a bit more purer. So I would like to come to 745. Hello. Right, do you understand this love of travel as well? Because
Yes.
when the 745 came out, I saw 747,
Yes.
as in
and I was
the
thinking
jet.
the same, yes.
Yeah, so, and would you understand, is this condition with you,
Yes.
please, on the kidneys as well? And also this lady, come in, a little bit more about you, please. I do feel a strong motherly energy here, and a very strong calming energy as well about her. Because as I asked her to step right in, my whole field of energy just took on a different aspect here. And well, this lady is so dependable. She would not let you down. She said if I couldn't do it and things, you know, it hurt her more to let anybody down than the person who may have felt aggrieved. Why are you bringing this in? Okay. I want to bring in the name of Rosie or Rosemary, but I do feel this is, linked to
It's
Mum.
not her, it's, oh,
It-
okay.
Yeah, it's not her, of her, but I do feel there was this link with that name as well. This is a friendship link that she's bringing forward here. I do feel in earlier years we might have enjoyed the odd cigarette here.
She did, not me.
No,
She
no, I'm talking about her. I don't care about you, all right? You're alive. You can look after yourself, all right? You can speak for yourself. I do feel that Mum here in the earlier years used to enjoy a cigarette here, and and a good time out as
Yes.
well. I do feel like there would be a little crowd of ladies come together here and go out and I don't want to do knees up Mother Brown, but I do want to be engaged in dancing.
Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of fun and a lot of upliftment. And a very healing energy as well with this lady as she steps forward. I do know of, you see, this is the thing, I know people. I do know of you that healing energy is very, very strong there, and the places you've been to enhance that. But this, okay. This is in the lineage of the family. This goes back generations as well, because I do want to go to Mum's mum. And I've got I've got a different character again with Mum's mum, but I've got a real earthy, hearty lady here, and I've got a bit of a cheeky sense of humour as well about life. And I do know with Mum's mum that I was very in tune with nature, with the earth and people around me. Yeah, and again, so you are in this lineage of all these healers working in different way. Mum say, well done with what you're doing. I know we had that brief conversation before the start of the service. She said, don't worry, just do what's in front, move on. Do what's in front, move on. Have you had to change a tyre on a car or something going in?
Not recently.
No? Okay. Why are you talking about this then? Oh, excuse me. There's a gentleman stepping forward now, and I know with stop it. I know with this gentleman, I would jump in the car. My dad used to be under the bonnet every Sunday afternoon without fail. And I do know with this chap that he would be out there, and very competent mechanic actually. I do see him taking, and I had to, please leave my hand alone. I do see him taking apart engines and putting them back together, and air filters and things like that. And he's just come in just to say, hello, hello. He's got a nice buoyancy with him. I'm not, just totally different energy working with Mum there. But just saying, you're all right. I'm making sure everything's ready for your travels. So I don't, whatever that is to you, that is to you. She said, but I'm just making sure everything's all right with your travels, and you're doing. He's gone like that. He's wiped his grease off with down because he could wear his overalls. He's just gone like that. And he's gone, and I want to shake your hand, and I want to shake your hand, and he's got a twinkle. Yeah, he's one of these guys with a little glint in his eye as well. And he's lovely character. He's not given me what the relationship is to you, and so anything I say will come from here, not from him. So, still with the gentleman here, he just stopped dead. Everything just dropped off like the edge of a cliff there. Now, what's going on? With yourself, they just want you to make sure that you stop as well with the mind, because it's very easy. You may not be at work, but the mind still is. Yeah, and they're just saying you need to cycle down, cycle up, cycle down, cycle up. Yeah, so you just need to, a little bit of self-care, self-healing as well need to be mindful of. All right, thank you. It's exciting, isn't it? It's like a Saturday night. Okay. The link, where I'm being made aware of here, so the person that is here with this ticket, I know we have gone through this period of isolation and cut off, but I know for this person it was even harder. Some people managed it well, some people did all right, some people didn't gel at all with this time, and I know that this energy is still very much around them. Who are you? Please step in. I know this energy is still very much around them. I'm feeling very much alone at this time. I've got a gentleman giving me this information. Thank you, sir. Stepping in. I feel an affection linked from this gentleman. I don't feel like a father's love. It's not to say it wasn't father, because we all have different relationships within our families. But I do feel an affection from this gentleman to whoever I'm working with at the moment, and I need to know where I'm going. 755. Bam. Would you understand this, please, that the isolation has really taken a toll on you, which surprises me because I have you as a buoyant? Is it a yes or a no, my darling?
No, I don't feel that it has.
No? Okay.
I meet up with friends and so forth.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But during the height of the restriction, was there a time when you were just like, I really need to be mindful of myself, all right? Become more aware of myself, because I did feel as though I was losing touch with myself as well. Can you understand it put that way?
My husband had just died, so I've probably time to that.
Right, so yeah, it was this, you've just said that about your husband, but I know that it was this double whammy that I really had to take control, because I just felt there was nothing there. I just had absence of everything. This gentleman's not making himself known yet, but I didn't feel that closeness there, but there is an affection for you, a great admiration for you. I do know you hail from abroad, but I do want to put this gentleman in Holland as well. I do want this because of the character, thank you. The character that he's just starting to build up with me now, I know is not of an English persuasion, all right? I've got quite a typical Dutchman. My experience and knowledge with the Dutch is they can just talk and deliver. Sometimes on a humorous vein, sometimes on a serious vein, but it always seems to be the same tone throughout. So I know my time in Holland, I was never quite sure if people were joking with me or telling me the truth. So, and this is the way he's coming in here. I know this is typical of Holland, but he has presented himself with a bicycle. But he's talking about you of memories of cycling as well, also going back a little while, shall we say. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Not. Within your jewellery range, I want a piece of jewellery that's got like a knot in it. Now, I don't know if that's within a knot. I'm just seeing a knotted piece of jewellery here. Now, I don't know if that's the gold part on the ring or something in a necklace, but you know when they make the knot?
Yeah, I have Celtic jewellery.
Right, so within there is something that is representative of a knot, because he's talking about this knot as on a symbolic level here of tying things together securely, and he's saying that you have and you continue to do so. He said you've done extremely well. You have managed things extremely well. But there was this little concern from Spirit right at the beginning of when everything went differently. You didn't like it at all, he's saying, because you have that control and that awareness of your life, and having even that taken away, especially compounded with the other things in your life, you found that even harder. So even if this was only maybe for a few days or even a week, but it wasn't a good time, and I fully relate to that. But he's saying you are. Oh, I wish he did. He just said something in Dutch, and my confidence and my sharpness, I missed it. I'm not. No, I'm not going to start giving messages in Dutch. He just said a word in Dutch. D-Y-K-N-S-T-A-R.
Oh, say it again.
D-Y-N-K-S-T-E-R. Something like that. Dianskata. Have I just invented a new language? Happy days. Another thing, it's something like that, and he just came in so quickly there. But I know it was an inflection as well. I know again of some of the health issues going on at this time, but I don't take this the wrong way, I'm drawn to your ankles. But in there I do feel that I do want a little bit more support on the ankles there, but also a need to put them up as well, just at times. He said, just stop rushing about all the time. He said, make time for yourself, make time for yourself. Would you understand the name of Robbie being called out, please? Robbie?
Robbie.
Yes. Where are you? I want Robbie within your son's energy here. And I want somebody who would have visited the house in younger years as well, some sort of a chum of there. But I do feel with this Robbie that he is still on the earth plane, but you as a healer are being invited to send out thoughts to him at this time, because I'm seeing with him. So when you see your son, just ask about this chap, because I do feel healing is on two levels here. There is the pale blue for the emotional, but there is a very strong blue certainly for the body. So there are two issues going on with this chap. But that will unfold in time. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Why are you talking to me? But this gentleman's just stepped back in again, and he's just nodded. Impeccable manners. Absolutely putting me to shame up here. Absolutely impeccable manners, and he's showing himself more in sort of like a national dress, where there'd be like a waistcoat or a jerkin or something involved here. And he's just stepped in and just done that to you and gone, oh yeah, strong religious link with this chap as well, because he's gone, God bless, God bless. Thank you. I will find that word. I will find that. I will know it when I see it, and I won't look up the English translation.
E-I-K-E-N?
Something like that, very similar to that.
Well, it would be very interesting, because on my husband's grave, which is in a woodland, it was full of acorns, which in Dutch is eiken, E-I-K-E-N. And I picked them up, and I bought pots and got my grandchildren to plant them so that they have oak trees.
Thank you. I'm quite happy with that. It's just so brief.
And just about
Would you
about
prefix that with something like "duh"?
the
We wouldn't say
acorn,
acorn. We would say the acorn.
That's right, it is.
Thank you. That because I knew the D was prevalent. Thank you.
Yes. Can I just say, which is very pertinent, about the bicycles? My father, at the beginning when the Germans came in, he was one of 200 military police who was still in The Hague, and they cycled through Belgium to northern France, got on a boat, and came to Plymouth.
Wow.
And he spent the war years here and joined the Lancaster Fusiliers. So the bicycle is very important in my life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the acorn as well. That's great.
That's lovely, the acorn.
Right, I'm not going to do it anymore. in case I mess it up. Okay. I am feeling very much here that I am being drawn, the link here, this side of life. I do have a strong sense of regimentation, now be that through forces service or just a very regimented lifestyle. I am unsure. Who have I got? I've got a gentleman linking in here who wishes to communicate with this person. What's going on now? And again, I do feel with the person here, this sense of order and regimentation has been greatly disrupted by this time and this energy, and it's bringing up a well of so many emotions. Some of the more negative emotions, but a positivity there as well, but looking for the silver lining. 744. Yeah, that's the one. Would you understand this, everything being regimented? Yeah, that's why I'm queering it as well. But a sense of order. Things will get done.
I can understand it with someone's spirit.
Right. And for yourself, that everything, obviously everything's been turned upside down, which has caused you great upset and bringing in the lower vibrations, but also there has been the positivity side as well come for that actually. Right. This is, okay. I want to say I've got Derek with me.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me more. I never had the pleasure really of meeting Derek on the earth side of life. Can I say, was he a little bit of a so-and-so?
Yeah.
Right, because I've just said, tell me something, and he went, why? Because I asked you nicely. But he's laughing about that. I do get a sense of portion with this gentleman. I do feel not my height certainly, but certainly a little bit more of a girth. Right. A little bit more of a, he's just said fat. Why don't you say fat? So I do know I've got very straight talking man. Obviously, having taken Derek's funeral service, those memories are still pertinent within my mind, so I'm working very hard here to get things away from that. Having teeth trouble. I know you've just had teeth trouble, but was he having teeth trouble towards the end as well? Yeah. Because I just feel like, and especially towards the back teeth here, it's almost like I want to reach in and pull it out because I've just had enough of it. Yeah. I don't have to worry about that. He's just gone like that. He said, look, I've got more back. And smiled. Great sense of fun, great sense of fun. I do recall again from the service that I took for this trip. This is quite nice. You can say thank you. No, all right then. I just said, I took your funeral. He said, yeah. And I said, are you going to say thank you? He went, no. Nice. I do recall there was this great love of birds, but I do want something like not of the norm. I don't want a cage bird in its normal sense. I do want something almost like a grouse or a woodcock or something like that. And I want to go back to a time and a memory when one of these would have been found and there was some attempt at nursing done with it. I've got like a very speckled bird. I know this is a wild bird. This is not a cage variety. Yeah, I know this is a wild bird. It's like I'm sorry. It's like a thrush, he's telling me, because I'm just seeing the spotted chest now coming in. And I know there was an attempt there to nurse it and alleviate suffering, which sadly didn't come to fruition. But he said, that was really profound for me. He said, because I actually found this huge emotion that came out from this animal. He said, I knew I loved animals, but I'd never seen it quite manifested. And he said, and I was really upset when it didn't make it. Yeah, because although he's got this lovely, jokey sense of humour with him, there is a great depth as well. There is a great, great depth. He's talking about Stephen here and the fishing trips going on. And he's saying about Stephen has been fishing recently. Now, I've not seen that, but he said he was fishing recently, and he said, and I was there and I helped him reel it in. He said, and I'm quite chuffed with that. He's quite happy with that. But yeah, he is absolutely, what a wonderful man. Are you sitting there psychometrising his ring, please? You've not been sat there fiddling with a ring? Maybe this is a suggestion. You've got the wedding ring. I want a band of gold.
Yeah, I've got it in safekeeping for Stephen.
Okay.
It's earmarked for Stephen, but
Right.
Stephen wants to leave it with me till I go.
Yes. So you've got it.
I've got it.
Yeah, so yes would have done. Right? Not hard, is it? Obviously it is.
Psychometrising it.
Maybe this is a suggestion from him because I know that I was working in that psychometric energy
Yeah.
and spinning. We got an inscription within this ring as well, please?
No, it's
This is just the hallmark I can
it's
see.
this wedding ring that is a signet ring and it's got his initials on it.
No, inside, just inside the band. When you next home, take it out and just look inside because there's something about this marking inside that is just highlighted to me.
Right.
All right, but there is something there, and he's not telling me what it is, but he's just saying there's something about the marking within the ring
Yeah.
just to look at, and you'll go, oh, okay. I want the month of March to be pertinent as well for you.
That's his birthday.
Right, so yeah, that's what he's talking about. And he's just pulling back here and winding back a bit, but he doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
He really wants to stay, but he says, you know, I'm always there. I know this of you, your habit of opening the window to send out your smoke signals.
Yes.
But just as a little part in the shot, he just shouted out, please forgive me for this, shut the window. You can understand, yeah, you just say, shut the bloody window.
Every time I open the door or look at his ear, that's what he's saying.
Well, he's still saying it. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie. Lovely service, as always. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Right, notices. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to our online hosts, and I believe it's Sue today, so thank you, Sue, for supporting us that way. And our online notices are Monday at 7 o'clock and Saturday at 7 a.m. So at 7
9.
p.m. Oh, I've done it
You
again. I did it last time, shoot me.
can get out at 7 in the morning.
Start again. Monday meditation at 7 p.m. and Saturday meditation at 9 a.m. There we are. That's each week, and it's always amazing. I often sit there and listen in, so that's for everyone online. And then this Saturday coming at 7 p.m. we have the Menorca Conscious Group, another one of Lawrence's Saturday evening chats. And they are so amazing and kept everybody going, so thank you for that, Lawrence.
Oh,
All the hard
my
work
pleasure.
you've done. Live here in church is Wednesday coming. We have the dear Phyllis Rumney, and that service starts at 3 p.m. And then on Saturday, Phyllis is doing private readings here. Appointments through Lawrence, I will say, because there's no timing. And then on Sunday, here on platform, 3 p.m, we have Darren Orlowski. I never know how to say that. So, no. So that's our week ahead here. I'd just like to say thank you for letting me stand here and make a fool of myself.
No, you haven't
No,
by any
I do
means.
get a bit tongue-tied because I get so excited and a little bit nervous, and I do get tongue-tied, but I do it. So now I'd like to ask Lawrence for the closing blessing, and also thank you all for attending, those both here physically and online, because without you we wouldn't be going. And thank you to all those that support other churches as well. We need to keep going. It's given positive energy, love and support to anyone. So, and thank you, Lawrence, again. I know I do keep saying it, but thank you for everything you do. And yeah, so
Thank
now
you.
we'll ask you for the closing prayer. Thank you.
Lovely. Before I go into the prayer, I know this sounds like a friend of fest up here, but it does need to be noted. And Mark Tony here, as you know, is very primary in keeping the Kinson Spiritualist Group open, who reopened last week. So anybody online and local to the area, the Kinson Spiritualist Group is reopened now, and you're back tonight, correct?
We're open again tonight, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, the church is taken so long, so many churches have taken so long to reopen, and indeed so many are still not open, but it does make a vast amount of difference to people's well-being and understanding to be able to come to a church, to sit with like minds, just to take this time out of this time. So well done you, Tony, for bringing that back in. Thank you. So we could still our minds just again for this short time, linking in with that God and divinity from within and without. And we give thanks. We give thanks for this knowledge that we do live forever and that we are here for this time to give it our best, to work hard on ourselves, to fit us for the future, to fit us for that place in spirit for which we will become destined to. But as we leave this service, we leave with that sense of sadness and sorrow, knowing that this world needs so much energy, so much healing, so much thought, so much upliftment at this time. But never forget that nothing is beyond you, that each thought, each turn of phrase, each deed that you do under the name and the powers of the higher and the greater never go unnoticed. And each action that we bring in creates a positive reaction within our world. Keep that thought in our mind and help us to love each other, but most of all, to reacquaint that love of ourselves. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everybody, and I wish you a safe journey home. God bless you all. Have a lovely week. God bless.
This is the weird time now because this is like when we all used to gather around and have a good old chat, and it's all like, get out. Leave immediately.
Lawrence, you didn't say what time the Kinston Church.
Oh, 6:30 we start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that every Sunday?
At the moment it's fortnightly.
Okay.
So we had one last week to open up. We've got one today. It's for the AGM afterwards.
Yeah.
And then after today